Abigail and Morgan come out of Tara's room and join us, both smiling. I'll have to ask her what they talked about later tonight. But right now, I'm just enjoying the moment. I feel more at peace than at any time since arriving in Eysenfeld. Even during the sweetest moments with Abigail, there was still the lingering bleakness of being a ghost. Now, despite the threat of Evelyn, it feels like there's a chance of everything turning out well. As we talk, Morgan's cat comes and hops up on my lap. I would have expected her to take to Abigail, not me. I scratch behind her ears, and she leans into the motion, purring contentedly. Tara notices and sits up straight.
Wait a sec, Mads. I just realized. But you haven't met Giladura yet, right?
I have, back in the shop, right after we arrived, remember?
No, I mean like, met her. Morgan was right, she really can talk.
She can?
I can.
The cat looks up from my lap, staring into my eyes, her tail swishes lazily.
If I feel like it.
Both Abigail and I stare in shock at the talking cat. Then, why didn't you sooner? It's the first question that comes to mind. Giladura closes her eyes. After a moment, I start to think that she's fallen asleep, but then she opens them once more.
I didn't feel like it.
I look over at Morgan sitting across from me. I guess I owe you an apology.
It's fine. She certainly didn't make it easy to believe.
Giladura stands up, her tail lashing as she strides over to drape herself across Abigail. In response, Abigail strokes Giladura's fur, looking almost as gleeful as when we had our first meal.
I didn't know if I could trust you. Now I know.
I leave the two of them to their cooing and cuddling and walk over to the front window, peering outside. How many times have I stared at the stars these past few nights? Abigail taught me a few constellations, but tonight, it looks like an entirely different sky. I rest my head against the window pane, soaking in the starlight and calm.
Hey, by the way, you said you only came into the village the one time, right?
Yeah, we didn't want to risk it any more than that. Not with how close we came to Evelyn.
Makes sense. You, didn't see anything embarrassing when you were spying on us, right?
We weren't spying. Or at least we weren't trying to. But no, thank God.
Oh, for real though, after this is over, but before we leave, you've gotta show us some of the cool spots on the forest.
Sure, that'd be fine. Actually, do you want to go right now?
Wait, for real?
I can show you the fairy clearing, at least. That's our favorite spot.
How long a walk is it? It's getting kinda late.
Oh, we wouldn't need to walk. Tara's face slowly morphs from puzzlement to excitement as she realizes what I'm suggesting.
You mean like magic?
I nod.
Oh, hell yeah!
Her enthusiasm startles Giladura, who hops up and runs away. Abigail gestures in vain for her to come back.
You two up for a field trip?
Abigail, still upset at losing her new friend, nods stiffly and says nothing.
Sure.
Giladura traipses back in, returning to Abigail's feet. Abigail perks up immediately.
Would you like to come with us, Miss Giladura?
I suppose so.
Carry me.
Abigail gladly obliges. I lead everyone outside and into the tree line. just in case there's anyone watching. I gather everyone into a circle, and the four of us lock hands while Gilladura perches on Abigail's neck. Okay, 3, 2, 1. The forest greets me and I respond in kind. It shows us the way to its heart, to the lake. I hold Abigail and Tara's hand tightly and breathe the softest sigh. I thank the forest. Then I open my eyes and we're here. As soon as we arrive, I can feel the presence of the fairies in my mind. They're instantly aware of where we are, and I send them all a mental greeting, which is returned right away. Gilladura slicks her ears back, and her tail begins to lash harder than before. I wonder if she can feel magic too. Before I can ask, Tara whistles in awe.
Dang, Mads, you really leveled up, huh?
If I put all my skill points into magic. Even Morgan looks dumbstruck, something I'm not used to from her. She tilts her head back, staring in open-mouthed wonder at the glimmering trees and fairy lights.
What is this place? Are we really still in the forest?
Yes, it's a very special grove. It was one of the first places I brought Madison. We came back here many times.
It definitely feels magical. Damn it, I should have brought my camera.
We all head down to the pond. Tara and Morgan gawk at its unfrozen waters, the same way I did when I first saw it. I feel a strange sense of pride seeing them so excited about this place. A loud buzzing sound suddenly fills the air. Before I can warn Tara and Morgan about what's going to happen, fairies burst forth from the trees. Tara yelps in shock as they pass over her, wings beating noisily.
Your Majesty, you're back. You've returned.
Hello, you three. It's nice to be greeted so enthusiastically, even if I didn't exactly want to be queen. I wave, expecting the three of them to come to me right away. But to my surprise, the fairies sail right past me and flock around Abigail instead.
Our queen.
Gilladura hisses as Abigail shrinks back, looking afraid. I'm not your queen. She's over there. Abigail tries to point at me, but the fairies ignore her.
No, you're not. I know you aren't. It isn't you.
One of them reaches for Gilladura and she swats at the fairies with one paw, just like Abigail did when we first encountered them. The fairies react with shocked indignance, their mouths open in identical shapes of puzzlement. They abandon verbal communication and instead emanate a wave of questioning curiosity. Although I can feel it, it's not directed at me. By listening, or rather by feeling, I realize who they're communicating with. Gilladura. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just to be sure I'm right, I communicate requests for confirmation. Despite her discomfort, Gilladura turns to me from Abigail's arms, blinking languidly. Yes, that's right. Now I'm the one whose jaw drops in shock.
Care to fill us in, Mads?
Cat, Gilladura, Fairy Queen. Everyone is silent for a moment, even the fairies. Then Abigail clears her throat. Does that mean I should set you down then? No, this is fine. Wait a second. A little seed of hope blooms instantly within my heart. Fairies answer my question before I can even think it. The seeds of hope withers and dies in response. Maddie? I close my eyes tightly. I see Gilladura in my mind's eye, and the rest of the world fades away as I speak to her. Once again, the fabrics of time tear and disappear. The fairies guide our voices. Gilladura can't be Fairy Queen. Not anymore. Not after what the Moonsick One did to her. Evelyn. The last pieces of the puzzle fall into place, I see it clearly. Evelyn, the rogue fairy, burning under the moonlight. The Fairy Queen ritual gone wrong. Gilladura running after Evelyn, and then disappearing. Without realizing it, I've reached out for Gilladura, stroking her fur. The fairies and I communicate with the heart of the woods to free her and restore her rightful place on the throne. The woods ushers forth its strength. The fairies conglomerate around us, the buzzing increasing in frequency until it's a dull hum. I reach within myself. The waxing moon basks the scene, and I gather its light into a pool of my hands. Reaching out, I feel the magic on Gilladura begin to vibrate violently. It burns to the touch. Gilladura yowls in pain, and all at once the magic shatters and melts away. With a gasp, I'm back to the present. Abigail rushes over to catch me, and the effects of time return. Their interest in their obsolete queen waning, the fairies clump back up and get ready to depart.
We'll see you soon again, when the moon is at its brightest, one way or another.
With that cheerful reminder, they take off. Fading out of sight, I separate their thoughts from my own and push them away. Madison, what happened? I take a deep breath and steady myself. Abigail scoops the pained Gilladura into her arms, petting and cooing. It's a long story. I'll tell you later. Gilladura, are you alright? Yes. It was foolish to think you, new Spring Queen, could dispel such a powerful curse on a waxing moon. Gilladura turns away and grooms herself. I feel a rush of guilt. Tara touches my arm slightly.
You okay, Mads?
Yeah, I'm fine. She grins and pats my back, trying to ease the mood. She stretches wide and lets out a huge nervous laugh.
Good. Well, that wasn't anything like I expected. The fairies especially.
What did you think they'd be like?
I have no idea, but it definitely didn't involve your cat being a queen.
I would have gotten you the nicer cat food if I'd known.
Yo, Gelato, how come you never told us you were a fairy queen?
Gilladura doesn't even deign to look at Tara. You never asked. As soon as we arrive back at the cabin, Abigail makes a mad dash towards the couch and flops down on it with a loud thud. I'm a little surprised by how quickly she covers the distance. Gilladura leaps from her arms and trots over to the kitchen, immediately sticking her face into her food bowl. Oh, my feet. Are they sore? I can imagine walking around again after so long might be a bit draining. No, it's not that. It's these boots. Abigail kicks off her boots and sends them flying, eliciting a yelp of surprise from Tara as one of the boots nearly hits her dead on. Your feet are bigger than mine. Do you have any idea what it feels like to get snow in your boots for the first time in 200 years? The three of us shudder in unison at the thought. Tara takes another step away from the boot, as if she's afraid of it infecting her with cold feet. I can tell you right now that when we do go to America, I'm going to be spending the entirety of the winter months indoors. I can't help grinning at her words, even if it wasn't entirely serious. That's the first time I've heard her speak about our future together with that much certainty. I make my way to the couch and sit down beside her, putting my arm around her without a second thought. She leans against me, our bodies perfectly aligned.
When the summer months roll around, I'm definitely taking you ladies to the beach.
Abigail instantly perks up at that, clasping her hands together and leaning towards Tara with a huge grin on her face.
Yes, goodness, the sand, the sun. I'd love to see the ocean.
Morgan seems a little less enthusiastic about the prospect of the beach, her face and expression more of concern than excitement.
If we go to the beach, I'm going to end up looking like a lobster. Yeah, but you'd be a really hot lobster.
I try as hard as I can to suppress a groan, but Morgan and Abigail both chuckle. Abigail I can understand, but the fact that Morgan genuinely finds this kind of thing endearing is baffling.
Thanks, babe. So, Abigail, what's the most interesting invention you've seen since you came back? I suppose I haven't seen much of it, but the internet seems like a wonderful tool. I love the idea of being connected and sharing thoughts, feelings, and creativity with everyone around the world. My girl, there isn't a single person more qualified to teach you about the internet than I am. You're gonna have a blast.
There's no way I'm going to let you be the one to show her around the web. You get into enough trouble on your own.
But Madison, doesn't Tara perform on the internet? I assume that means she's very knowledgeable about its workings.
Tara raises an eyebrow and leans down to place her hands on the table, staring closely at Abigail.
So Mads told you about paranormal, huh?
Oh no.
She told me some things. I know you tell stories about supernatural occurrences, and that you take them very seriously, even when they're quite obviously untrue. Did she now?
Sweetie, maybe we shouldn't.
And she also told me that people all over the world enjoy watching you. It sounds like you must be an incredible storyteller. Nice save.
Tara breaks into the same massive grin she always puts on when she knows she's found a new audience.
You don't know the half of it, Abby. I've got 1,000,000 of them.
I roll my eyes and lean back against the couch. Abigail just moves closer, ready to hear whatever Tara's going to say next. Just looking at her feels healing. If listening to Tara's stories makes her happy, then Tara can tell as many stories as she wants. Not that I'd ever tell Tara that, of course. One story turns to another. Morgan and I will chime in with a correction every now and then, but we mostly let Tara work her magic. Abigail keeps asking questions and Tara keeps eating them up. If Morgan's anything like me, she must enjoy seeing the girl she loves acting so happy. I know I am. I don't know what's going to happen after this. We're still in danger. We still don't have a way out. But that doesn't mean we can't enjoy our time together. All of us. I just wish I could shake the feeling that this is the last time we'll have this chance. We stay like that for a while, telling stories, making jokes, and most importantly, talking about our future. Whether it happens or not, talking about it puts all of us at ease. We talk about sharing technology with Abigail, getting her and Morgan new wardrobes, where we're going to go on dates when we get back. In those moments, it all feels real, like we're remembering moments that haven't happened yet. Eventually, the sun begins to dip below the horizon. We have another huge meal, to Abigail's delight. Afterwards, Tara tells her even more stories as Morgan and I clean up after them. I'm not sure if the four of us are going to stay in one apartment for long when we get back, but I think I'd really enjoy being around Tara and Morgan. Not as much as I enjoy being around Abigail, of course, but enough enjoyment to make me want to stick with them. In time, Abigail starts to yawn and blink wearily as Tara talks. She hasn't had a chance to sleep since she got her body back, so she's no doubt unprepared for the strength of the body's need to rest. When the sun finally sets, we say our goodbyes and head for our room. I'm already looking forward to tomorrow.